Hi, this is Charlie Seymour Jr.
This is Dr. Marc Kossmann, and we're out here in Denver.
And this is one of our Back and Forth. Dr. Marc, I think you've been studying your notes on this. Why don't you start us today on our Back and Forth?
Yeah, we're at the Maui Mastermind conference with David Finkle, and I'm going through my notes here. We've had a really long, productive day, learned a lot of great stuff here that really is creating some synergy with some of the stuff that Charlie and I have been discussing for a while here. One of the real core things that really gets to what we're talking about is this notion of being self-employed and being trapped in your own business versus really creating a business that runs by itself. We've been talking about this notion that when you create your business, as many of us professionals do, you're the core, you're the center of this entire business, and everything's just revolving and revolving around you. And a great image comes out of that as all that revolution of busyness is going round and round you, kind of digs a trench and becomes the moat that keeps you trapped within this thing. And one of the core things we were talking about is that the issue that's really keeping people so focused on being the center of their own little universe is we're in control, and we feel like we have to be in control at all times. And that really kind of reminds me of something else we talked about, right, Charlie?
It sure does. There was a great story that was presented about capturing monkeys. And people would take coconuts and they would carve out the inside and be just big enough for the monkey to get their hand inside. And they'd attach a rope that would go off to the end, and they would put peanuts in and they'd put the coconut down. And along would come the monkeys. And the monkeys would come along and put their hand inside that, and then all of a sudden the people would start pulling on the rope, but the monkeys would not let go of those peanuts. They wanted to stay in control with those peanuts. But after a while the monkeys stopped showing up because they didn't want to keep working for peanuts. They couldn't let go of the control.
Well, and the issue of not working for peanuts really is the other core piece about that, is that when you remain in this controlling center of your universe, really interesting discussion today about the fact that you're limiting the value of your business. Now, if we look down the road a piece to the future, imagine that you're getting on to retirement, maybe you want to let go of this business. Well, if you are the business, then your business has no independent value. You got nothing to sell. Whereas if you truly create a business that's run by the systems that run it, it's got value independent of you. You can actually pass that on to somebody else if you've created self-running systems that you're just monitoring. So there's a real freedom to that. And that actually reminds me of another story. And Charlie, you're the storyteller, so let me pass this back to you.
One day a man climbed a tree and he got this giant egg, and he took it back to where he lived and he put it in his chicken coop. And one day it started pecking and broke open, and it was an eagle. And the eagle was raised around all these chickens. One day after the eagle was growing up a little bit and it was testing its wings, it looks up in the sky and it sees this magnificent bird flying all around, and it started getting the idea and hopes that maybe it would take off and it would soar itself. And up walks one of its friends in the chicken coop, taps him on the blade and says, "You can never do that. You're a chicken."
So we don't want you to be a chicken. We want you to find that inner eagle and go soaring again. And that's what personal success marketing is really all about. We're really psyched about the stuff that we're learning here in Denver because it's just so much in harmony with what Charlie and I have been discussing. We're feeling really jazzed up and validated in the mission that we're on here. We're going to be getting back to you with a lot more stuff here. So this is just our back and forth here, but we're going to be creating at least one, maybe even two podcasts out of the content that we've generated here. So come back soon.
Come back, see the things that we have here on the site, and we'll talk to you soon. So that's Back and Forth from Charlie Seymour Jr. and Dr. Marc Kossmann.